Okay, all right, gents. So yesterday, this was the essay that I gave you guys. Okay, first of all, it was to distinguish between compulsory and non-compulsory insurance. Yeah, and then you had to look at the importance of insurance for business, the 4 principles of insurance, and then advise businesses on the difference between over-insurance and under-insurance. Yes, sir.
So for this one, so like I did, so for the distinguish between and the advise the difference between. So
Yes, sir.
in an essay, so would it be wrong if you put it in like a table format? So?
Technically, table formats will be the best, especially when they say distinguish between or compare between 2 things. Okay, and then you put the one, let's say, over insurance, and the other one's under insurance, and then you list everything under insurance. And so perfect if you put it on the table.
Even in an essay, sir?
Even in an essay.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah, even in an essay. Okay, when they say distinguish, so it would still be in a. I'm just gonna quickly just draw a rough box. Okay, so over insurance, under insurance. Okay, and then you still have your points. So whatever points is here, Mr. Zamini, must sort of be the same points on under insurance. So if you're gonna say something about over insurance, okay, and then
Like
what's the
long-term
difference?
insurance,
Yeah, so long-term insurance would be this, and then short-term insurance would be that. Okay, so you're basically comparing bullet points by bullet points. Okay, but you'll see the one that I did here, I didn't. I just put sentences, but you can do that. Let's take an example. No, it's just, I think just, it's cleaner, it's structured. It's easier. Okay, I'll come to you now. Yeah, 100%. So the thing is, remember the question. So here, so you'd have your introduction, you'd have your 2 sentences, please, under introduction. Okay, and then after that, you then go into a table format, have one compulsory and the other side non-compulsory, and then list them like that. Okay, but I haven't done that with this because, yeah. Okay, gents, so before we even go to the essay, even the guys that have done it, that haven't done it, let's just talk about compulsory. If something is compulsory, both, let's start with you. What, besides insurance, let's just talk about compulsory things and non-compulsory things. Give us an example, please. Can everyone please listen? Yes? Come again.
Something you need to, not something you want.
Something you need, something you have to do. You guys are compulsory rugby games on Saturdays, you have no choice, you have to take, you have to come to that game. Okay, whereas non-compulsory, you don't really have to. So give us an example, maybe Herman. Yes, sir.
This is car insurance compulsory.
So car insurance, hands up, would you say that's compulsory?
Was it when you drive off when you buy it? So
All done. Okay, so Herman was listening yesterday. Okay, unless, gents, unless you're buying it cash, okay, you can confirm this with anybody, unless you're buying a car cash, that's the only time you don't need insurance. Okay, but Herman is right, but for business studies grade 12, Herman is actually wrong. Okay, so you're right, Herman, you're right. It is compulsory insurance. You have to have car insurance if you buy a car, okay, if it's on credit. But if you buy cash, technically you don't then have to have insurance. But under grade 12 insurance, car insurance is not listed as compulsory insurance. Okay, so maybe have other hands up, yes,
So what if you're operating a business with employees, so you don't have to have insurance?
Yes, you do. What's the name of that insurance called? Okay, no one have an idea? Okay, we'll get to it. Okay, yes, what?
mining, sir?
Come again?
Mining business, sir.
So a mining business might have what type of insurance, maybe?
In case you get injured.
Whatever insurance that will help assist employees if they get injured. Remember, there's an act also that assists. Okay, remember COIDA also comes in under insurance. Life insurance. Would life insurance be compulsory or non-compulsory?
It's compulsory, sir.
Okay, let's have a show of hands. You all come here. Let's have a show of hands. Who thinks it's compulsory, life insurance?
I think it's life insurance.
Okay. Who thinks it's not compulsory? Okay. Okay. We'll get into the examples. Okay. Explain the importance of insurance for business. Remember, I've got all of these answers in the slides to follow. I'm just trying to gauge and get an understanding of where people are. The importance of insurance for business. Duncan, your dad owns the Cecil Garage in town. Why would insurance be important for him?
In case it blows up, sir.
In case it blows up. Okay. In case it blows up. Any other reasons why insurance might be? Yes, sir, Mr. Bolt.
So it transfers all the risk that you have onto the insurance company.
Whatever risk you might have as a business, okay, the insurance company will take care of it. What kind of risk? Maybe give us an example of
So
besides
theft, sir.
theft, okay, that's a good one. Theft, okay, how many years?
Would acts of God also be one?
Come again?
Would acts of God also be one?
Acts of God for insurance for business, yes, definitely. Okay, so you don't, whatever disruptions might happen, at least insurance will cover that. Yes, boss?
Dishonest employees.
Dishonest employees will also fall under. Okay, discuss the 4 principles. I'm not going to go over the 4 principles again. Jan, yes, your question?
I don't know if it's relevant, so, but for example, at a garage, so if the petrol attendant, you told them what petrol to put in, but they put the wrong petrol in, and that damages your car, who pays for that?
Technically, it's the garage owner or whoever owns the garage. That's the person that you
It takes time.
have to go deal with. That's happened before. So that happens, in fact,
Every day.
a lot of times. Yeah, it would be the garage owner. If obviously the petrol attendant was wrong, then it's the responsibility of the garage owner. If you didn't say anything,
Does your insurance company pay for that risk, or?
I have no idea, to be honest with you. I don't think so, okay, but I don't know. I'll check for you. Okay. Right, and then the 4 principles. I'm not gonna rehash them now. Okay. I asked you guys yesterday, and everybody seems to know. And then lastly, over insurance and under insurance. You understanding? Anybody?
So,
Yes, Clarice?
also from what I read yesterday, so like over insurance is you make people wait. You pay more than the premium is or something like that. So
Okay, you're on the right track.
under insurance is when so it's either you're operating at a loss basically, so you're like your access or more than the actual like value of it. So
Okay, please add on him.
So,
Thank you.
I think the over insurance is paying more than what the thing you're investing is actually worth. So
All right.
invest themselves.
Okay,
Over insurance, an item is insured for more than the market value.
okay. So that's the thing. So if you've got a cell phone, the cell phone, sorry to cut you there, the cell phone is actually 1,000 rand, and you've insured it for 10,000 rand, and then it gets lost. Okay, it's been over insured. Will the company or the insurance company pay you for the 10,000 rand or not?
won't they do that? So?
Okay, we'll get into it. Okay, gents. So basically that was your essay. Let's now go into it. Okay, so distinguish between, if you want to write, you can write on these slides, as I said, are going up. Okay, distinguish between compulsory and non-compulsory insurance and give examples of each. So the first one is that compulsory insurance is a type of insurance that is required by law. You have to pay it, okay, before you can engage in any specific activities. Okay? So when I take out car insurance, that is not really required by law. Yes, if you're buying a car, as I said yesterday, okay, you have to take out insurance. Okay, but if you buy it cash, then you don't have to take out insurance. So it's not required by law. The kind of insurance is meant to protect you from harm in any way or in some way. Okay? Example is Unemployment Insurance Fund, UIF. Have you guys heard about UIF before?
Yes.
Okay? Unemployment Insurance Fund, that's actually kicked in quite a lot now during this COVID period. Okay? I mean, there's some even staff members that had their salaries reduced because of COVID. Okay? They were able to then claim the difference from the Unemployment Insurance Fund. But the main thing for Unemployment Insurance Fund is that if you get fired or if you get retrenched, if you quit, if I quit today, I don't get any UIF. Okay, you have to be fired or retrenched to be able to get it. Yes, sir.
Didn't we borrow money as well during lockdown for things such as UIF and all that type of stuff? So that
Who, us as a country, or no, not really, no, because people contribute towards UIF. So we've been contributing. People have been contributing for since you start. When you start working, you have to contribute towards
So where
UIF.
did that 5, I don't know if it was 500 million or whatever it was.
Government basically just restructured whatever they were doing in terms of their budgets, and they got that money somewhere from their budgets. So just to give you an idea, there were supposed to be things like the Comrades Marathon, okay? And government might have sponsored some of that, so instead of sponsoring Comrades Marathon, they've now taken that money. Yeah, so things that didn't happen, and also things that were supposed to happen, but they were nice to haves, if I can put it that way. So it's a nice to have a big ANC conference, okay? So you don't have to have an ANC conference this year, a government conference, will then just take that money and we'll put it towards. Yes, sir?
So unless someone like got retrenched, you never got any UIF.
You know somebody that got retrenched didn't get a UIF. Did they apply? So UIF is not an automatic thing. Okay? Once you get retrenched, you then go to the labor department, you apply for UIF. Okay? And if you got retrenched or fired and you've been paying UIF, but everybody that works pays UIF. Okay, unless they are like like what you call these contract workers. So, most of the people that you see, the ground staff, wouldn't have UIF. But permanent employees, okay, if I show you my salary, there's a UIF contribution there that they take it even before I pay it. And so I don't know what happened in that case. Yes, sir?
The same for like cashiers.
Cashiers, yeah, if they're on a permanent basis, yes. So it has to be permanent employees that are part of that business, not like contract employees, not like I get Clarissa to come and assist me in my company over the weekend and I pay him 10,000 rand. He doesn't have to pay UIF on the 10,000 rand.
We get like a holiday job, we don't have to.
So if you get a holiday job for 3 weeks, you also probably won't be paying UIF. But if you get a permanent job, and no matter how much that earns, you then pay UIF. Now first, and then
How much do you pay for like the
I'll check for you now.
20%.
I'll check for you now. I'll check for you on my step now. Yes, sir. What?
So don't you only pay, you pay out your if you've been working for over 6 months?
So you have to have worked for a specific period of time. Yes, minimum 6 months, if I'm not mistaken. But technically, once you pass that period, then it doesn't really matter. You will then get paid UIF. So if you get retrenched after 6 months, you'll still get paid your UIF.
And if you change before 6 months?
Then you possibly won't. So,
So what happens after you tax it? Where does the money be collected from UIF go to?
so that's how insurance makes money, and that's how people like UIF would obviously also make money. Not everybody's going to claim from UIF. I mean, I'll give you an example. Mrs. Verby, who taught me, Mr. Trott taught me, Mr. Mtongo taught me when I was in college. How many years have those guys been working for? Over 20 years, over 25 years. They've been paying UIF for over 25 years, but they never have to claim, and they probably won't have to claim. Okay, so that's how insurance also wins. Okay, remember, think about the fact that once you guys all have cars, you will all have insurance. Okay, but let's say only 10% of you are going to crash those cars. But the insurance companies are still making money or premiums off everybody else, and that's how they basically have enough money to be able to pay for everybody else. Yes, sir.
So in that case, doesn't UIF become an expense for you?
Yes, well, for you, it is sort of like an expense. 100% right. It is actually like an expense. But insurance, remember, short-term insurance, and by definition, insurance was what? In case something happens. So, yes, it's an expense, but until that thing happens, I'll give you an example. My brother, my younger brother actually, had an Audi A5, right? Now he's got an S5. Okay, he's living the life. Okay, when he had the A5 3-4 years ago, he stopped paying insurance. He had been paying insurance all his life. He stopped paying insurance on the 1 month. The next month his friend crashed the A5 beyond repairs. Do you think the insurance, was like, no, it's fine because you've been paying for the past 2 years. It's fine. You didn't pay for the last 3 months, or the last 2 months rather. We'll pay out. No, they didn't. Okay, so it's just one of those things. Okay, let's carry on. Non-compulsory insurance, on the other hand, is pretty much everything that you are not required to have. So insurance such as travel insurance, okay? You can have travel insurance, by the way. Life insurance is actually not compulsory because not everybody has to have it. Phone insurance and any other examples you guys can think of. Okay? I gave you quite a bit of different types of insurances. Yes, William?
So are you allowed to like negotiate with some of those insurance?
Definitely.
So you can say like if you start paying premiums for like the last year, then you still have to pay for those years.
Come again, I didn't hear that last part.
Like with your brother, so
Yeah.
could you have negotiated for like at the beginning, if you start paying for a short amount of time compared to those years, you can still raise money there?
He could have negotiated. I don't know if they would have allowed it, but you could have negotiated that. Okay? Yes,
So what's travel insurance?
travel insurance, like if you're going to be traveling. Okay? So you might want to take insurance on your luggage, on whatever. So it's usually when you're flying, okay, there's a flight insurance that they ask you if you actually want, which is really very cheap. But in case something happens to your luggage or anything like that.
What happens to like if you insured your phone so but then you go like overseas or something and it gets lost there so
That's still fine.
they cover it back?
You can still claim. Good question though. What I do know with the car, okay, if you've got your car insured in South Africa and you go to Swaziland or Mozambique or any other African countries, you have to first phone your insurance company and let them know. Otherwise, they might not cover cross border. But things like cell phones, I'm pretty sure they'll cover wherever you go. Yes, sir.
So when you go to NASM, so don't they like enforce you to insure your car?
I'm not sure, but I do know that you have to phone and let them know if you're going, like when we go to Swaziland, you have to tell them that, listen, actually we're going across border, so please can we get insurance? So although it's a good idea to get these, they are not required. Good idea to get Dixon, not required. Okay, non-compulsory basically means voluntary, while compulsory means it is required. Are we all happy with this, gents? Okay, so that's basically it. So types of insurance, I said unemployment insurance fund. These are compulsory insurances now. Road accident fund, okay? It's also a compulsory insurance.
Oh, so,
RAF, yes
during
sir.
the holiday, I saw people like were putting, there's a lot of social media, so calling out people that had been in accidents before 2016, so and didn't get the road accident funds. Were they giving out money? So?
Possibly they were. Possibly they were. So I had a friend that was in a car accident. I'm not sure if I told you guys. Okay. Friend that was in a car accident. He passed away 2 years ago now. But before he passed away, he had epileptic fits after that. And the road accident fund paid him 4 million rand. Yeah, it sounds good. It sounds like a lot. It sounds nice. But then if you think about the sacrifice that he's now got fits, so he randomly gets seizures and stuff like that. Okay, but he still got paid 4 million rand from the road accident fund. So that is compulsory insurance. Okay, COIDA, which is paid by the company. Okay, you guys learned about this in the first chapter. That is also compulsory insurance. Okay, notes: do not confuse compulsory insurance with examples of long-term insurance. Okay, there is a difference. Yes, sir.
So I think the question, are you still doing the essay, sir?
Yeah, no, I'm still doing the essay, but this was just random
okay,
extra
okay,
stuff
okay.
on UIF for you guys, just for your information.
Yeah.
Explain the importance of insurance for business. Okay. First one is business assets are insured against any damage. 2 marks. Example. For my O, the company vehicle should be insured in case employees damage them. Yes. Example for the essay. Life insurance can be taken out on the life of partners. Okay. Remember what I said yesterday, that you can't just randomly just take out life insurance on people. Okay, but in this instance, if me and Lamini have a business and we partners in that business, I can take out life insurance based on. And if you think about it, there's an insurable interest there, because what happens if our partnership was based on both of us, right? And now he passes away or something happens, touch wood, okay? And then our partnership will then obviously fall away. So I can actually insure him as a partner and he can insure me as a partner. Does that make sense why that happens? Okay, but you can't just randomly, I can't insure Mrs. Ackerman for life insurance, although we work together, but there's no insurable interest. If something happens to her, nothing will happen to me. Whereas as partners in a business, if something happens to you, I get affected too. Let's take that also.
Can your example be like a long sentence?
Yes, it can. Okay. In fact, I encourage it to be a long sentence. Like this one was just a random one that I put. Okay, but the first one was just UIF.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so like in the case, music careers, like the manager can he or she take out insurance on the
100%. 100%. There's insurable interest there. Okay. If something happens to the artist, the manager then also is going to be disadvantaged because they don't have the talent they need. Okay. Any questions, Tuli? Happy? Protects business from claims against members of the general public. I think you mentioned this. Okay. Protects the business against dishonest employees. I think also we have mentioned that. Are you happy, James? Yes, sir.
So back into the life insurance policy. So can like a taxi owner take out life insurance for the driver, sir?
In that instance, definitely. Definitely. We haven't spoken about the taxi industry in a while.
I'm not getting educated, you know.
Okay. Discuss the 4 principles of insurance. Here, gents. Clarissa, I said, please give me the first one. Read out what you have for us.
So I said indemnification. So
indemnification, yes, sir.
Protects the insured against a specific events that may occur.
Gents. Sorry, start again. Sorry.
Protects the insured against a specific event that may occur. So.
Okay. Next one.
So usually short term, and it's usually at a specified loss.
Okay. Still indemnification.
So and then payout. The third point in finance is payouts are only made once events are proven. So there's evidence that the events have happened.
Okay, thank you. Williams, you've got the second one. Tuma, you've got the third one. And the fourth one, Dixon, please read for us. And in any order, please. Okay. Go for it.
Utmost goods,
Come ahead.
utmost goods,
Okay.
good will, good faith.
Good faith, thank you.
You must have honesty when claiming back from insurance companies. You must disclose all facts that happen, and these facts must be accurate.
Honesty, disclose all information, okay? And they must be accurate. Okay, next one.
Insurable interest.
Yes, sir.
Insured must prove that the insured will suffer financial loss if the insured object is damaged, lost, ceases to exist.
Prove that you'll suffer some financial loss. And then the last one, Putu.
Oh, yes, sir. Indemnification protects the insured against specific events that may occur.
Okay, that one was done. Any other one? There was one more. Security. Got it.
Security aims to provide financial security to insurables at retirement.
100%. Okay, gents, I'm not going to stick too much on these principles. I think we all get them. Marksy marks. Advise business on the difference between overinsurance and underinsurance. Okay, through underinsurance, you are insured for less than the market value. This word is very important. When I told you about my car yesterday, I said I had bought it for $350 and I'd insured it for $350. So that was the market value. Okay? If I was paying premiums, which were going to be worth $450,000, I was going to have overinsurance. Okay? If I was paying for less than $350, I was going to have underinsurance. It's as simple as that. Yes, sir. Putu first.
So, you know, so when you buy a car, so they say once it leaves, like the place, say it's off like the
Depreciates.
price. So that's what, is that what you insure, sir? What?
Okay, so it's not technically half the price, but the minute it leaves the floor, it loses a bit of it, depreciates, it loses some value. Okay, but what you insure is there are market prices for every single car. So what you see in Auto Trader is not really the market price. To find the market price, it's usually the dealers. I don't know if anyone's dad works at a dealership or owns a dealership. Okay, maybe you could just ask them for us. But it's usually the dealerships that will have the market or the book value of the car. So the car that you might see outside, the X5 that's parked outside, the black one, you might think, oh, this is such an expensive car, but you find that the book value is actually $120,000 now.
Oh, right.
Okay, so it's on the book value of the car. Okay, or the market value. Whereas with underinsured, you are insuring for an amount above the market value. Whereas if you're overinsured, rather, you are insuring for amounts above the market value. So underinsurance, below or less than market value. Overinsurance, above market value. Yes, sir?
So there's a book value, so the cost price minus the depreciation.
I don't know what that formula is. That's accounting stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what the formula is.
So it's different from that.
So I don't know what the formula is, but book value and market value, my understanding is that what the car is worth in the market right now, what it's worth in the out there commercially, if I can put it that way. What are you saying? What are you thinking it is?
So book value in accounting or told us that it's the cost price minus the accumulated depreciation.
Okay, I'm not going to argue that.
So
Maybe the market value is also calculated in the same way. Maybe ask for us. Who's your accounting teacher? He's asking for us if it's the same thing. Yes, sir.
So my father said that for our cars, one of them is more expensive than the other, but for insurance you'll be paying the same. So other than that,
Did he buy them at the same time? Maybe he bought them at different times. So obviously insurance policies also increase in value over time. So you might find that the cheaper one is now the same price as the expensive one because he bought the cheaper one first. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, maybe find out more details. Okay. With over insurance, Mr. Tlongwane, you are at risk of paying too much in premiums from the moment that the market value of the insured property is less than the amount insured. Okay? And then lastly, underinsurance means that the insured will have to carry out the risk that is not insured. If you've insured your car for $100,000 and it's actually worth $200,000, if something happens, you will then have to pay the extra amount. Okay, before people sleep, let me move on. Average clause. Average clause. Okay, so that's the essay done, by the way. 40 marks in the bag. Okay? That essay is important. You're not writing an essay in your common test, but the contents of that essay are important. I'm going to say that again. The stuff that's in the essay is very important. Okay. Average clause, Tian, is the term. Before I actually put up the definition, do you guys read what the average clause was?
No.
Anyone understand? No? Okay, let's go for it. The term subject to average means that if the sum insured at the time of loss is less than the insurable value of the insured property, the amounts claimed under the policy will be reduced to the proportion the underinsurance, also called average clause. Basically, see if I can get the definition in your book. Average clause please listen to this definition. The insurer will pay for insured or the loss or the damages in proportion to the insured value. So this just talks to the concepts of overinsurance and underinsurance. If you've been paying for something, okay, and that thing is worth market value of R1 million, but you've been paying less, when the company pays you out, when the insurance company pays you out, they'll also pay you basically less. Okay, so if you've insured something for R1 million, okay, but you've been paying less for it in terms of premiums, when it's time to claim for that thing, you will also not get the full amount of that thing. Does that make sense, gents? Not really. Not really. Okay, let's try reading more. This means that the insured is responsible for the part of the risk that is not insured. Nyawa, I don't know how else to explain it. Maybe guys help me. Anyone can help me. Okay, but basically if you've insured something, under insurance, if you've insured something, okay, but you've insured it for less than what it's worth, when it's time to claim, you're not going to get the full amount. Okay, because you've underinsured it. And that's basically the average clause. That's basically the average clause. So the company will come and say, yeah, can maybe assist me, yes boy?
So that's okay, so the things insured for like, okay, the thing's worth R1 million, and you only pay like 700,000.
Yeah.
So you're only gonna pay out like 600,000.
Basically. Yes, Williams?
So it's not like they won't tell you that if you're paying underinsured that you need to increase your
No.
premium.
So the 100%, the company won't tell you. So the only time they'll tell you is when it's time to claim. And that's when they do the calculations, which you guys will also do. And that's the calculations that tell you that actually you are underinsured. And according to the average clause, we then pay you what you are actually insured for. Got it?
So is it so for average cost? My understanding is a kind of so like when you're on you buy a phone so you can just insure the screen, so just
Right.
just a screen protector. So
Right.
and if something had happened to that phone, let's say it got stolen, so would you only get paid out like
For that,
screen protector?
only 100%. Okay? Yes.
So can you change out your premium like whatever you want to say? Like let's say you're paying out less, or you're underinsuring it. Then can you change or overinsure what you want to say?
Yes, definitely you can. Good question, you can, but then you're basically signing a new insurance contract. Okay? The term, I'm going to try to read that. Yes, Williams?
If you overinsured something and they pay out the extra.
No, so they don't pay out the extra. Again, average clause will say that if you have overinsured something now, okay, and it's time to pay out and they realize actually this thing is not worth what you've insured it for, then they'll just give you what that thing is worth. And you basically lost the rest of that money. You paid for nothing. Okay, so let's quickly do an example. Example calculating the average clause. Peter owns a thatched house valued at R1 million. The house is R1 million. He insured his house with pro cover insurance for 800,000 rand. So already now, is he overinsured or underinsured? Underinsured, okay? A fire in the kitchen causes damages of 30,000 rand. So the house is worth R1 million, right? He's only insured it for 800,000 rand. Okay? He then has damages for 30,000 rand. The question is, how much will they pay him? Do you think they should pay him the whole 30,000 rand?
Yes.
It would make sense, wouldn't it, Marks? But actually they don't, because he is underinsured. Okay? So now please work out how much they pay him. I think you've got the formula in your book on page 191. Thank you. There it is. Okay, so it's there on page 191. Okay. The formula is the amount insured. Please can everyone calculate it, even just on a calculator. I don't mind. You don't have to write it down. Okay, the amount insured, which is cover is insured is 800,000. Calculator, payment, even on your phone. I don't mind. Okay, I just want you guys to calculate this. You'll have to do calculations in your common test, gents. Okay.
This one coming up.
Okay, yeah, this one coming up. Calculating things like this. Okay, so it says there that the formula is the amount insured, which is 800,000, divided by the value of the insured item, which is actually R1 million, okay, times by the damages, which is 30,000, divided by 1. What do you get?
24.
Okay, the formula is the amount insured, they've insured 800,000, divided by the actual amount of the assets, which is R1 million, so it's 800 divided by R1 million, and then you multiply it by the damages, which is 30,000. So what do you get? 24,000. So how much are the damages? 30,000. But how much are they paying him? 24,000. Average cost. Why? Because he's been underinsured. Oh yeah, I'll tell you why. 24,000, 100%. Just in case. That is 24,000. Yeah.
I only got 24,000.
1,000.
No,
You didn't divide properly. Oh, focus. 800,000 divided by a million. 6 zeros, 5 zeros.
So then, let's say if he had overinsured,
Yes, sir.
would he have been paid out the full 20,000?
So here's a very good question. Mr. Yao, I'd like you to try. Okay, I like your ring, Putuma. If he was overinsured, right, would he have been paid out the full 30,000?
Yes. No. What are they gonna pay?
What are the